The Daytona 500 is supposed to be NASCAR's biggest race of the year, but one of the sport's biggest names just said it looked more like a Sunday drive. Denny Hamlin is not happy. And on his Actions Detrimental podcast, which dropped on February 17th, he finally said exactly what was on his mind about the Daytona 500. No filter. No holding back. So what had him so fired up? Two words: fuel saving. See, during the Daytona 500, drivers were not pushing their cars anywhere close to the limit. Hamlin said drivers were running at just 60% throttle for big chunks of the race. Think about that for a second. These are race car drivers at Daytona, and they were barely pressing the gas pedal. Hamlin called it exactly what it looked like: a parade. That word parade says everything. A parade is something you watch while people wave and drive slowly past you. It is not what you expect when you sit down to watch the Super Bowl of NASCAR. Fans tune in for door-to-door battles, last-lap drama, and drivers going all out, not fuel conservation. But here is the thing: Hamlin was not just frustrated at the drivers or the teams. He pointed at something much bigger: the next-gen car. The next-gen car is the current race car NASCAR introduced a few years ago. It was supposed to improve competition and make racing better. But Hamlin believes that on superspeedways like Daytona, this car is creating a massive problem. Because of the way the car is built, teams are being pushed into strategies that just do not make sense for real racing. Hamlin described it as fairytale land. That is his way of saying teams are playing a strategic game that feels completely disconnected from actual racing. Instead of teams competing on speed and skill, they are all playing this weird fuel math game, holding back, saving gas, and waiting rather than actually racing. And the result? The race looks slow. It feels slow because it is slow. Drivers running at 60% throttle at Daytona is not a race. It is a slow-motion chess match that nobody asked for. Now, when Denny Hamlin talks, people listen, and for good reason. This is not just some guy with an opinion. Hamlin has been racing at Daytona for nearly 2 decades. He knows superspeedway racing better than almost anyone in the sport. He has won at Daytona. He has lost at Daytona in heartbreaking fashion. He understands what that track is supposed to feel like. And on top of that, Hamlin is also a co-owner of 2311 Racing. That means he sees this problem from both sides, as a driver sitting inside the car and as a team owner watching the strategy unfold from the pit box. When he says the product is being ruined, he is speaking from experience on both ends. That is what makes his fairytale land comment so important. He is not just venting. He is saying the next-gen car on superspeedways is forcing teams into a strategy that hurts the show for everyone: the fans in the stands, the fans at home, and the sport itself. The Daytona 500 is NASCAR's crown jewel. It is the race that casual fans tune into even if they watch nothing else all year. It is the race that is supposed to showcase everything great about this sport. And right now, Hamlin is saying the car is getting in the way of that. The debate around the next-gen car is not new. Drivers and fans have gone back and forth on it since it was introduced. But having one of the most experienced and credible voices in the sport come out and say the car is turning Daytona into a parade that carries serious weight, NASCAR will have to answer some hard questions. If the sport's most important race is producing 60% throttle, fuel saving, single-file driving, is that good enough? Is that the Daytona 500 fans deserve? Denny Hamlin does not think so. And after seeing what he saw on race day, it is hard to argue with him.